but all along the banks, other animals are already flourishing. Leela had something that looked like a baby dinosaur to show me just a couple of locks away at Hanwell.
This is a smooth newt. This is actually a juvenile newt. It looks like it was last year's, and so, yeah, but a female, and we can tell that from the coloration. She's slightly paler.
So Leela, why do these newts like the canal so much?
The canal at this point has got side ponds in it, so areas where it's free from fish. And so in the spring, so May onwards, they come down into these side ponds to breed. So it's really, really important part of their life cycle. The canal connects all of our different gardens, all of our different parks. A male newt will actually travel a few kilometres to find new ponds, and they'll be travelling 500 metres each night. And so if people were to take time and look in their ponds in the spring, they might find these small newts completely harmless. And then obviously in their gardens too, so if they could take time to make a compost heap, or even just leave a pile of logs or stones in the corner where they're not going to be disturbed, that is excellent for the newts.
As we were filming our newt, a dog walker stopped to look. He was fascinated by the creature, but had previously seen something on a towpath that he had never seen before.
Silvery colour, but that round.
What, newts?
No, about that round, and it had like a head of a lizard coming out of it, as though it dropped off a tree.
It's just like you're describing a slow worm.
Yeah, but it was silvery.
Yeah,
Yeah.
silvery or bronze-like.
Ah, when I looked on the website, it didn't say it was silvery.
Yeah, no, they can have different colorations.
With his dogs impatient to continue their brisk walk, the gentleman moved on. But Leela actually had a slow worm to show me that she'd found on this very spot earlier in the day.
This is the perfect home for slow worms as well. They like similar habitat to the newt, so they're loving the undergrowth here, the long grasses we've got in the field to the back, and they'll actually be sheltering again underneath piles of wood and burrowing slightly into the ground itself. They are really similar to a snake, but their scales don't overlap at all, which makes them really smooth to the touch. They're actually a legless lizard.
Leela and her legless lizards and newts had already convinced me that if it's wildlife you're after, a trip down the canal is well worthwhile.